Your client has a message their audience has learned to ignore. Here's the pattern on getting it through. In this breakdown, why e.l.f. Skin Sunhinged reached 10 million voluntary viewers, the pattern behind it, the proof across 3 industries, 2 failure cases that show where it breaks, and a scoring tool test on whether it's a good fit for you or your client right now. Let's dive in. All right, so the campaign was called Sunhinged, the elfed up roast that burns the most. This is all going to make sense, I promise, in just a minute. The pattern that they use, the high-level strategy pattern, is called the Entertainment Trojan Horse. What it is that a brand takes a message its audience would normally filter out, ignore, such as a health warning, a behavioral change request, guilt for something, and an inconvenient category truth. And then they're going to wrap it inside a high quality entertainment spectacle. The audience comes for the content. They absorb the message as a byproduct of the campaign. And, here at the Strategy Signal, I like to think in 3 separate moves. The first is a rational narrative. What is everybody doing around skincare? The second is a signal that pops up that's kind of unusual. And then the architect, the signal architect, then builds off of the signal and not off of the common narrative. So in this case, the rational narrative was that La Roche-Posay built clinical authority campaigns. Neutrogena invested in UV tracking wearables. The American Academy of Dermatology, they pushed consequence statistics. The industry's assumption here was clear information produces behavioral change. That makes sense. That is logical. And just like my hero, Rory Sutherland, logic will not always get you the best results. And what did Sunhinged do? What did e.l.f. do? They popped up with this interesting signal. 64% of Gen Z still skips sunscreen after all of it. The block was psychological resistance to being lectured. We are Gen Z. We don't want to be lectured about our skin health. Thank you very much. Not a lack of information. But you could see American Academy of Dermatology, Neutrogena, Roche-Posay, they're all pushing this common story that you need more clinical information, more statistics. And look, here's a doctor, right? Here's a medical clinician researcher, right? Here's an analyst. You need that, and that will change your behavior and make you buy our product. But actually, that's not the case for this audience. Data couldn't surface this because the question was never really asked correctly. And what does a signal architect do? I love Sunhinged here. e.l.f., what they did was they changed the frame from health compliance to cultural participation in running a comedy show that actually roasted not a celebrity, not your favorite sports hero. They roasted the sun, which is great. The frame is the product. Everything else, the comedian cast, right? The 20 minutes of content, they all followed from that one decision. And the result were 10 million YouTube views in week 1. Voluntary, earned audience, right? 26th consecutive quarter of net sales growth for e.l.f. Beauty. $353.7 million sales Q1 up 9% year over year. They're doing quite well just from roasting the sun. And here is a brief window into the, I think, 4 comedians that they brought on. I remember watching this in detail last year. e.l.f. Skin presents Sunhinged. We're going to roast the sun. The elfed up roast that burns the most. Yes.
You're a stand-up. There are things you dream of doing.
Absolutely.
SNL.
Yep.
The Tonight Show, maybe
Totally.
a Netflix special. But above all, it's the e.l.f. sunscreen show.
Yes.
This is all I've ever wanted.
You guys are going to love him. Give it up for John Radlinski.
How about this? Come on.
So John and then 3 other guests as well, who all roast the sun for the benefit and entertainment of the audience. So why did this pattern work then? And why do I think it's going to work now? First off, 3 forces converged to make this Entertainment Trojan Horse exceptionally effective in 2025. Number 1, the polarity had shifted. The old world rewarded earnestness, Seriousness was the badge of brand authority. But there was this new world emerging, which is reversing that polarity. Cannes Lions in 2024 shows approximately 75% of winning campaigns used humor, and up from 52% in 2023. So it went from 52 now up to 75% as this Gen Z audience are coming on, who are exceptionally attuned to market behavior, especially growing up in social media. And levity reads as credibility now. Seriousness became table stakes. Number two, entertainment advertising gap stays wide. 91% of consumers prefer brands that are funny. Listen, if you're going to sell me your stuff, I want to like you first. Be likable. And one of those best ways to be likable and a very high level skill is to be funny in a way that draws you closer and through connection. 20% of brands use humor. That supply demand imbalance means brands that cross to the entertainment side find enormous uncrowded space, perhaps blue water space, and lock in positioning before the market corrects. And number three, platform behavior shifted toward long form. This is a 20-minute. This isn't just a bunch of 60-second shorts. Gen Z watches long form YouTube the way older generations watch network television. A 20-minute branded special arrives as a content itself, not an interruption. Brands that build for that behavior generate engagement numbers paid media just can't produce. So what else? Where else did this pattern win? Well, the Entertainment Trojan Horse also won in 2012 with Metro Trains Melbourne. This is in Australia. It's a great ad. You can watch the full one in the newsletter below. And it's called Dumb Ways to Die. It's a darkly funny and animated music video about dying in silly ways. It's meant for kids. It's like designed around cartoon medium of children. However, it's really for adults. Please don't walk in front of a train. Please don't like drop something in there and try to get it. Like, just don't die, okay? 28 Cannes Lions, including 5 Grand Prix near miss incidents at Melbourne train stations, fell 21% the following year. Why? Because they entertain people into stupidity. Actually, they use our own stupidity against us to make us brilliant and save our lives. Number two is Will It Blend? A Blendtec CEO Tom Dickinson in the lab coat destroying iPhones, golf balls, garden hoses on camera. I actually have a Blendtec. We've had it for 15 years. By the way, I'm not an affiliate. One of the things that my wife said we have to buy, so we totally did, and we've only had to replace the outside, the container one time. The entertainment carried a real product claim. This blender handles everything. Online sales climbed approximately 700% over a 3-year run. The product claim was proven and not even announced. Here's a CEO. He's going to throw in all this stuff in here and just watch it be shredded and destroyed and break. And if the blender lasts, well, you know what? You entertain me, and it looks like it can handle just about anything I put into it, including my almonds and my vegan protein powder, whatever that is. And I will actually jump into buying this for you. The third example was Chipotle food service in 2012. Farmed and Dangerous. It was a 4-episode satirical Hulu miniseries mocking industrial agriculture. The brand name appeared in credits and nowhere else. Found more effective at changing consumer attitudes than 98% of social issue documentary films. Let's stop the food documentary films. Please just entertain me and I will eat better. Humans are easy. Should you use this pattern? It's a great question. 4 questions to ask yourself plus a red flag. Number 1, does your audience already have a defense wall up when they see your category's typical messaging? Are they already defensive, like the skin care industry where the audience knows that the sun is bad for your skin? Are you going to lecture me about it? I don't want to hear from you, right? There's a wall. Number 2, is there an entertainment format that your audience voluntarily consumes that has nothing to do with your product? In this case, the audience of Gen Z are open to 20-minute specials, and a comedy show has nothing to do with skincare. You're inside. There's no beach, right? There's no surfboards. Just give me something different, okay? And number 3, can your message travel inside content that would earn an audience without your brand attached? And number 4, do you have production partners whose credibility signals quality before the first frame plays? You have to have good comedians in order for this to work. Now, one red flag to consider, there were 2 examples where this did not work well. Number one, Gillette's We Believe in 2019. It had a real cultural frame. It was on the back of #MeToo conversation, and it was just a hollow vehicle. Remove Gillette and nothing is left worth watching. The logo removal test fails. In other words, if you can remove your logo from this, so if e.l.f. didn't have their logo there at all, is it still entertaining? Does it still lead back to the product? If it doesn't, then you have a problem. You're too logo heavy and brand heavy. The test, remove your logo. Does the content still have an audience? If it does, yes, build it. If no, go back to the brief, try to figure this out. And the second example was e.l.f.'s Matt Rife casting. Bad timing, made a difficult omission. They left out the question of what the casting would signal to the community. Sunhinged had, there was some controversy around him, and then the container broke. The message broke with it. Was a bad move, unfortunately, even though it could have been really entertaining. Well, how are you going to implement this? Well, step 1, you're going to map out the psychological resistance, as I mentioned. Step 2, identify the entertainment vehicle that you're going to use. Is it a comedy show? Is it something else? Step 3, find credible production partners so they're representing your brand and they're giving good quality of entertainment to the audience. Number 4, apply the logo removal test. I mentioned that a little bit. And number 5, attach something real. Let the entertainment do the convincing. The message travels inside the experience. It doesn't have to be announced. Start with step 1 this week if this is a good fit for you. The resistance mapping costs nothing. So what is my take on all this? I think, number 1, I try to bring people and identify what the old world is and then move them to a new world. The old world is more content, faster results, louder claim, seriousness signals authority, just like the dermatologists and their clinicians are signaling a lot of high risk efforts that come from being bathing and you get cancer. Okay, that's the old world. Here they introduce a new world. Make something worth consuming first to me. The entertainment has to do work on its own terms without use of the product. The message attaches to something real and true, and then the form follows the relationship. Every campaign that I've seen so far in the strategy signal, and we've done about 12 of them now here, where it fails, usually for one reason, it was performing authenticity rather than possessing it. So the brands that succeeded in this pattern, something worth consuming first. Dumb Ways to Die is genuinely funny. Will It Blend with Blendtec is genuinely entertaining to watch my car keys get thrown around and watch a cell phone get broken. Sunhinged holds up to the 20-minute comedy special before it holds up to any marketing vehicle. Listen, I don't want you to just become a better marketer. I want you to become a signal architect. So every week, I run a full campaign breakdown just like this. I look at where else it succeeded in 3 other industries, where else it failed in 2 to 3 other industries. I try to provide a new world, old world POV perspective for you, coming from 15 years as a chaplain and 20 years of ministry. I really think a lot about humanizing encounters, and I want to see how I can help you. So to help with that, I also have a GBT, which you can implement on this specific strategy. If you're like, that's too much information, too much work for me, cool. Just put in your business details, and within 10 minutes, you could feel and you could find out if this is a good fit for you. The Entertainment Trojan Horse Playbook GPT is totally free. It's in the description. I would love your feedback on it. Fit scoring out of 20, implementation roadmap, failure mode checklist, and even a client-ready strategy deck. So if you have a client or you're your own client, you could present this to someone else and say, hey, I think we should try this marketing strategy. So that's it for now. I'm Matt from the Strategy Signal. Take care and catch you later.